I think of expressing gratitude as being like a spiritual enema. I just seem to have a brain and a soul that catches shit. And the only way that I can possibly clear all of that out of my life, out of my brain, is by expressing gratitude. One of the first mentors I met when I got sober told me that a grateful heart will never need to drink, and that makes all the difference for me. When you start to talk about misconceptions, one that really sticks in my brain is the notion that being in recovery is a moment in time where you've made a choice to step away from using drugs or alcohol, and then you are in recovery. Yeah, that's the very beginning of recovery. Deciding to get into recovery is a funny idea to me. I did not recognize drugs or alcohol as being my problem. The universe forced me into doing what needed to be done. About 11 years ago, a little over 11 years ago, I had developed a plan for committing suicide. I also was living in a world of major paranoia where even though nobody really cared about what I did, I assumed that people were watching me and out to get me. And so I had a moment of clarity. And as a veteran, I'm lucky enough that I was able to go then to the VA hospital or VA medical center and walk into the urgent care unit and say to the nurse behind the counter, "Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm a veteran. I've never really been here for medical stuff before, but I don't want to be alive anymore." And at that moment, all of the resources of the United States government were brought to bear to save me from myself. I was medically detoxed off of alcohol, started off in a psychiatric unit up in White River Junction at the VA hospital, and it was there that I was introduced to a program of recovery that remains central to my life and has made it possible for me since May 20th, 2007 to not need to take a drink or use any other mind-altering substance. I've managed to be able to now be in a position where instead of looking to the world to hand things to me, I have things to offer the world. And that is a really great gift of being sober, of being clean, of being in recovery, is that now I have something to give back. After I had been sober for 6 or 7 years, I had the chance to become executive director of a place called Liberty House in Manchester, where I felt like the luckiest man on the face of the earth, because Liberty House is a transitional living facility for formerly homeless vets. The best part of my time at Liberty House is seeing those men and women go on and lead productive lives. I had become surrogate father to the 10 residents at a time who lived there, and just as much to the 100 or so folks who had passed through while I was in my time there, and knew that that was not what I wanted to be doing for the rest of my life. So I spent my last 9 months at Liberty House while a replacement was found. And what I intended to do was to go up to Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, to live for about a year in a tiny white box, a 6-foot by 10-foot converted motorcycle trailer, and write and figure out what I wanted the next step to be in my life. I run a website called Tiny White Box, and in there I publish columns, and I published a column back in March There was an open letter to the universe saying what I was looking for in my next job. Today, I'm executive director of Hope for New Hampshire Recovery, hoping to be able to move things in exciting new directions. And it's just really nice to be in a space where I can have as my goal to give back more to life than I could ever possibly take out of it.